Hey YouTube, Mike here. How we all doing today? I hope we had a safe and productive couple of weeks. Yes, I apologize. I've just been very busy and I blew the shoulder out again. Today I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm able to do just a basic video. I even put a wall unit. Go on my social media. I actually had to have my wife and son actually do a lot of it, because I just couldn't work. And we got through the hurricane good, just a lot of wind and rain. Thank you for everyone that messaged me or sent emails about it. We never got anything, just a lot of leaves and a lot of rain. Okay, so the last video that I showed the Milwaukee haul, I said I was going to show a new tool line that I acquired because of a hobby that I got into, and that hobby was a combination of the modeling I do and the woodworking. Well, the piece is over here on the right, and I'll unveil that in a minute. And I know a couple of years, and I got a bunch of emails, like trying to guess what I got into. But no, it wasn't anything that you guys said. So let me go over this tool set and these tools, and then I'll show you. So this is the Proxxon line of miniature. They're woodworking tools, and they're also some machine tools. And I picked up quite a bit of them. I got styrofoam in the air vent. I got a couple on my wish list for Christmas, but I have some stuff from Rotary that I'm going to be using, like a sander. So first thing, not in any given order, I picked up the MF70 milling machine. So it's got 3 axes: up, down, front, back, left, right. Clamping system to clamp down your pieces. I got an extra clamp. I'm not going to take everything out. If anybody's like really interested in anything, this is actually a clamp that I haven't even removed yet. And man, is it in this wood box real good. Yeah, they give you a pretty cool wood box. There we go. So this basically will clamp down onto this tray, and then you can clamp either round or square objects into it. They do have a turret, which and I think I know why it didn't fit in there good. It's because this was opened all the way. They do have kind of like a turret that you can get for it. I haven't ordered that yet. I don't see any need right now, but I can use this with my RC cars, because a lot of them use this milling machine to mill out chassis to take weight off of it. I got milling bits. I actually removed the it's a collet driven system like your Dremels, but I put one of them like a regular Jacob's chuck in it. And then these are the 3 main milling bits for the machine. Okay. Now, I bought their 12 volt. They have a 12 volt system of tools that will operate off of one type of transformer. They have a few different, but this one came in this kit. This is their motor tool, rotary tool. But it's very light. So the difference is the amount of time that you're working with these things. For the hobby that I'm in, they're very light because they're 12 volt. And basically this came with this transformer. It came with a series of bits. You basically plug this in to the 12 volt system. Then you plug your 12 volt. Let me make sure I got the right one here. You plug this into your, and That's how you operate it. It's the on-off is a variable speed control. It's a very light tool to operate. Now I also bought their 12-volt sander. They're small. So let me grab, it comes with a whole load of these different plastic plates. So basically you're putting sandpaper, which is all pre-cut, and then you just turn this, pop this off, put this in, lock it, and then it's a sonic sander. Now they make a transformer that actually, that's it, and this thing is vibrating at a very high speed. They make a sonic cutter too. So if you're familiar with cutting like the plastic off the sprues, this thing cuts right through the plastic. Then you can file it down or sand it down with this. I do have a company called Disbay, and it's actually a cordless. It charges with a USB. And this is their 60-E. It's their smallest Proxxon tool, actually motor tool. I'll just put this over here for now. Okay. I got their lathe, wood lathe. They do make a metal lathe. Look at this. Here's your tool holder, collet. There's extra collets. They give you extra, they even give you a center finer, end piece. That's extra collets for different sizes to go into here. The wrenches. There, so for the end stock, I can put actually the drill bit in, like when you're doing a pen to drill it out. But it's very not. But all this stuff you need to clamp down. So they come with a series of clamps that will clamp down and onto the bench, or there's holes in these and they give you screws, so you can actually position them around your workbench and screw them down. You're not using these without support. I can tell you that right now. Okay, I did get their clamp, their vise, and as you can see here, this is how it would clamp down to your base, like that. So it pivots in all different directions. It's got rubber jaws, and you can take the rubber jaws off for if you're putting a piece of metal in it. It's got teeth on it. Again, it's got holes for screws. Here is their chop saw. Look at this thing. And so it's a little different than an old chop saw. It's got a valley in here, because when you bring this down, it actually, there's no kerf, so it's got a full valley. And this is your clamp that you're clamping your piece down. And then there's also a repetitive stop that if you want to keep cutting pieces of one size, you can just tighten this up and you can keep cutting pieces of one size. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all this. I'll list it in the description. They're not expensive tools, and they're very good. It's a German tool company, and it does go in all different directions. It'll go past 45 both directions, and then there's stops. This locks it down. There's a little safety here. You got to hit two things to drop it. So you're not just dropping it. You can drop it, but you can't turn it on. You got the switch right here. I haven't used this yet. Then I bought their drill press with a separate vise, and I put a keyless chuck, Jacob's chuck in it. So it's got this vise that actually holds down onto the hold down. And it's height adjustment. It's multi-speed. They give you the speeds on the side. You take off the top. You swap out the belt. Similar to a regular drill press. Again, everything is 110 volt except those tools. They make grinders, they make finish sanders, they make polishers. Everything comes with a very, very nice instruction booklet. Okay, then this is just, this is a, the actual, this is what the, see it's the, I got the turret chuck for the lathe. You can swap them around for step. These are more hold downs for the milling machine. And I lost something. I actually lost one down below. I gotta go find it. Then I bought their saber saw. Whoop. And it's got the tube for air. It takes standard blades, so it's got the tube for air to blow the dust out. When you're cutting, variable speed. These are the wrenches for the lathe. See, these are the sandpaper for the sander. I bought a whole load of them. Then I bought, so the scroll saw, nice. If they can make a bigger one, they even make a big bandsaw. But this I need when certain parts are broken, and they do come broken. You have to recreate them. And I'm losing everything. Oh, Lord have mercy. And then this is called their circular saw. They do make a table saw, and that's actually on my wish list for Christmas. But this is, they call it a circular saw. But it is like a table saw. It's got your fence, miter gauge. Pretty much a lot of these come with dust ports. They come with the dust ports that you can hook up a standard vacuum to it. But their actual circular saw is much bigger. Everything is brushless motor. So, what am I building? Well, I gave you a little hint here. If parts are broken, I need this to recreate it. Square them off. The lathe is to actually build something tubular that's long. Drill press, of course, is for drilling multiple holes. So what did I, let's just show you. I got into wood model ships. This is a 1/200 scale, and it's called a Harvey. And it's like, what would they say it was? A 60-man crew boat. It's got it's 2 masts and a forward sail. But building a wood ship is like building a real ship. This so far has taken me 2 months. And there is so many defects on this thing, I don't even want to count. As far as, these are individual planks that have to go on. They have to be, they're pre-cut out, but you have to cut them, glue them in, bend them. So I said, oh, I'll just bend them. Crack, snap, break, make another one. You have to bend it with water and a special soldering iron that's got a roller on it that you actually roll up and down, make it soft, get your glue on. There's special clamps to clamp this. So this has taken me 2 months. Every one of these, once you remove them, have to be cleaned. So that's another problem, is that I start filing them, you catch it, snap. I must have built 10 of these planks or re-glued them. But this is building a real ship, but in miniature form. There's I started with, they suggested, people that I followed on YouTube suggested you start with a small ship to get through all of the anxiety of building it, and it's microscopic, and then get into the bigger ships. Now I do have a Santa Barbara, and it's like 1/35 scale, so it's about that big, with the forward mast probably about that big, and it's got about 24 guns on it. This thing has 10 guns, 10 cannons. I mean, you would not believe the detail. Now I've loved these. Every time I go to some type of, we've been to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, and there's a museum, the Maritime Museum there. I've been to the Maritime Museum. They make a wood ship, and you can buy a battleship, tugboats, everything. But those are metal hull. I've always been interested in the wood hull. So the milling machine is to mill out, say, windows and stuff like that. The lathe, the masts have to be turned down. They're not straight all the way up. They have to be tapered. So you put them in the lathe and you sand them down. If not, you remove the end stock, and then there's someone that showed us how to make a holder so that you could taper longer pieces, or I could use my bigger lathe. But the sander is what I bought to sand down these things, because you'll very rarely catch on the piece of wood to snap it. The scroll saw is like a ribbing. The actual the skeleton of the ship, I've broken the actual pieces on the skeleton. So instead of gluing them together, you just get some. You don't use balsa. It's exotic wood or plywood. So I bought pieces of plywood. I bought different types of dowels that I would need if I break them, from anywhere from like a 1/16 of an inch up to about a 1/2 an inch. And then you turn them down on the lathe. I got mini chisels. And then a lot of my stuff I had tweezers and saws and stuff like that. Used a miter box, a lot on it. So yes, they're very popular tool for this type of hobby. So I invested in these, and like I said, I got a sander. It's just a disc sander. It's 6-inch, but I have a Rikon 5-inch. It's a disc belt sander, so I'm going to use that, and then the table saw, because if I have to cut larger, like you can cut up to 1/2 inch plywood. You can cut 1/2 inch. You can only cut about less than a 1/4 inch on that, because like I said, they call it a circular saw and not a table saw. But the chop saw you need to chop pieces down to length, and yeah, I mean it's tough. But I'm getting my frustrations out on this thing right now. But I think it came out pretty good, but there's massive amount of defects in this thing that I can see. Even the roping, the ladders, the ladders they climb up to get up to the sails, that's all got to be built. You got to actually rope out the individual pieces from like this down. Then you got to tie the individual rungs in. And there's a special knot, CA glue. We use CA glue and wood glue and accelerant. They give you a map of how to build it, and you put it behind it, and then you trace it. But you have to build it on the actual ship. A lot of my string and rope is actually what I use for my leather work, so that was good. But oh my God, there's a thing I bought that I got to build something that can go up to about 2 feet, and basically it's 2 cranks with brackets, and you put your rope in 3 different or 4 different or 5 different hooks back to another 5 different hooks. Then you turn one end, and it twines all the rope together to make 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, 5 pieces into one thick piece of rope. Then you just hit it with the CA glue, it stays there, and you're done. But yeah, it's difficult, but I'm enjoying it. I've been putting some time into it, building it, but it's a lot of fun. But I'm interested, I'm really interested in this milling machine. I've been wanting a milling machine for a while, especially for my RC cars with the mini ones. So, yeah, we'll see, and I'll let you know as we go along. I got like extra saw blades. I got blades for this. I got a lot more sanding pieces. So that's that. So that's what I'm into now. I've always been very interested in these ships, and I finally pulled the trigger. All right, YouTube. Again, thank you for the likes, comments, subscribes, the questions. Keep them coming. If anybody has anything that they want to know about this, let me know, and I'll give you a little bit more information on it. All right, YouTube. You all be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.